and welcome to our lecture number 36, Power Plant Economics Part 2, Week 12, Module 8. Myself, Dr. Ajay Kumar Gupta from Sri Rawatpura Sarkar University. Once again, I welcome all of you on SWAYAM courses on power generation technology. In this, contents are introduction, factor affecting power plant design, location selection, water availability, labor availability, land cost, minimizing operating cost, minimizing maintaining cost, minimizing capital cost, impact of power plant, then type of cost in that, fixed cost, operational cost, understanding depreciation method, operational cost, fuel cost, labor cost, maintenance and repair cost, cost of storage, supervision cost, in last tax, and after that conclusion of this. In introduction, we will see the topics of economics of power plant, overview of the previous lecture discussed on power generation economics. We will focus on power plant economics, how factor affecting power plant design highlights the key factors influencing power plant design. In that introduction, we will see factor includes location, water availability, labor, land cost, operating cost, maintenance cost, energy generation efficiency and capital cost. In location selection slide, we will see importance of selecting an appropriate location for a power plant, how location is impact on logistic and operational aspects. We will see in water availability, we will discuss to the point where water resource is available for the generation of power, consideration regarding water quality and availability. After that, we will see labor availability, what is the role of skilled and unskilled labor in power plant operation, ensuring an adequate labor forces near the power sites. After that, we will focus on land cost, examining the land cost as per the demand, impact of land cost on overall project feasibility, then minimum or minimizing operating cost, strategies for minimizing ongoing operating cost in power plant operation, emphasize on cost effective energy generation, minimizing maintenance cost. In this, we will see importance of reducing maintenance expenses for long term sustainability, strategy for efficient maintenance repairing. After that, in minimizing capital cost, we will see significance of minimizing initial capital investment for economic approach to reduce capital cost. In next point, we will see impact of power plant. In that, we will see type of cost, overview how different types of power plant influences cost, distinguish between fixed cost and operational cost. After that, we will see fixed cost. In that fixed cost, we will explain fixed cost including land, building, equipment, installation and overhead charges. We will highlight in this their role in the initial setup of a power plant. Then we will see operational. In operational cost, we will discuss of operational cost, fuel cost, labor, maintenance, storage, supervision, and at last we will see the tax, how much tax we have to pay. We will emphasize on these costs as our ongoing expenses. After that, in next we will see understanding depreciation. In this, we will introduce the concept of depreciation in power plant economics, what is the role in accounting for equipment deterioration and value decrease over a time. For that, we will see in the next depreciation method. In this, we will explain 4 primary depreciation method: straight line percentage, sinking fund and unit method. In this, we will see the overview how each method calculates depreciation cost. After that, In next slide we will see operational cost. In this we will detail explore of operational cost. We will see the future explanation of component including fuel cost, labor cost, maintenance cost, repair cost and the cost of storage, supervision cost and taxes. Next, fuel cost. In fuel cost, in depth examination of fuel cost as a significant part of operating expenses. In this we will emphasize on fuel selection and utilization for cost reduction. Next, in labor cost we will discuss of labor cost varying based on power plant and scales, the role of labor in daily power plant operation. After that we will see maintenance and repair cost, explanation of the importance of regular maintenance, cleaning and repairing, their roles in preventing breakdowns and extending equipment's life. After that we will see the cost of storage, whether it is consumable material or unconsumable material including its expenses. Example, materials such as lubricating oil, grease, tools, chemical and paints. After that, supervision cost. In that we will overview of supervision cost related to salaries of supervisor staff, their contribution to smooth running of operation and maintenance. Then the important part, taxes. In this we will discuss the various taxes imposed on power plant operation. We will mention here income tax, sale tax, social security taxes and its contribution. Finally, we will conclude by some key points related to power plant economics. We will emphasize on importance of cost considering in designing and operation of power plant. So, the objective of reducing operational cost while maintaining reliability. Now, come to the first slide, economics of power plant introduction. In this lecture, we will deliver into the economics of power plant. In the previous lecture, we discussed the concept of economics of power generation and the various factors involved in calculating parameters related to power generation. Now, we will shift our focus to the economics of power plant. When designing is a specific power plant, several factors need careful consideration. In the previous lecture, we examined how to create economic load curve for residential or commercial systems. We also discussed load duration curve, highlights the difference between the base load, intermediate load and peak load. These concepts provide insights into the power generation requirements such as average load, maximum demand and operational hour of the plant. Now, we will explore the economics of power plant starting with the factors that influence power plant design. Factors affecting power plant design. Let begin by discussing the primary factors that impact power plant design. Location of the power plant. The choice of the power plant location is crucial during the design phase. In that, availability of water, that is, water is critical resources for power generation and various industrial processes. Therefore, the quality and availability of water plays a significant role in the design consideration. Next is availability of labor. Skilled and unskilled labor is essential for power plant operation. Ensuring an adequate workforce near the power plant is a key factor. Coming to the land cost, the land cost of the power plant site is another critical factor in the design process. Now, low operating cost. Low operating cost, minimizing ongoing operating cost is a priority to ensure cost effective power generation. Now, come to the low maintenance cost. Reducing maintenance expenses is essential for the long term sustainability of the power plant. Low cost of energy generation. In this, efficiency is in energy generation process helps lower overall cost. Now low capital cost, in that minimizing the initial capital investment is crucial for economics variability. Next, the effect of power plant type of cost. How? Let's explore how difference between or different types of power plant impact cost. Cost analysis involves consideration two main categories: fixed cost and operational cost. Fixed cost includes the initial expenses required for setting up the power plant. These costs encompass various aspects like land cost, building cost, equipment cost, installation cost, overhead charges, example transportation, storage, storekeeping, interest during construction, like that. In this operational costs are incurred during the day-to-day running of the power plant. They consist of fuel cost, operating labor cost, maintenance and repair cost. Cost of storage, excluding, in that it is excluding fuel, supervision cost, tax, example income tax, sale tax, social security. After that, understanding depreciation. What is depreciation? Depreciation accounts for equipment deterioration and the decrease in its value due to factors like corrosion, weathering and wear and tear over time. It plays a significant role in cost calculation. So, the depreciation method, there are four primary depreciations method to calculate depreciation cost. First is straight line method. This method involves spreading the depreciation cost evenly across the equipment's estimation lifespan. The annual depreciation is calculating by subtracting the residual value from the initial capital cost and divided it by equipment's lifespan. Next is percentage method. Depreciation is calculated a percentage of equipment's residual value for each year, gradually reducing over time period. Next is sinking fund method. This approach treats depreciation as annual installments with interest earned on those installations. These funds set aside for depreciation can be reinvested to help financial future equipment purchase. Last is unit method. Depreciation is measured by equipment's expected operationally hour or unit of production. A constant factor is multiplied by the actual working hour or production unit each year to determine depreciation. In that, operational cost are an ongoing aspects of power plant economics and includes the following concepts. Cost of fuel. The cost of fuel is a substantial part of operating expenses, especially in thermal power plant. Efficient fuel selection and utilization are critical to cost reduction. In that, next is labor cost. Labor is required for power plant operation, with labor needs varying depending on the type of power plant. Likewise, maintenance and repair cost. Regular maintenance, cleaning and repairing are essential to avoid breakdown and extend equipment life. Now we will see the cost of storage. Consumable material excluding fuel are part of operating expenses. These material includes lubrication oil, grease, tools, chemicals and paints. The salary of supervisor staff are included in this category, ensuring smooth plant operation and maintenance. At last, we will see the taxes. There are various taxes which we have to pay for running or for operation of the power plant, that is income tax, sale tax and social security contribution, which are imposed on power plant operation. In conclusion, we understand the economics of power plant involves careful consideration of both initial and operational cost. These costs significantly impact the feasibility and efficiency of power plant design and operation. Reducing operational cost while maintaining reliability is a key objective in power plant economics. Now, we will conclude both the slide in power generation terminology. We begin by delivering into essential power generation terms and definition. First, we focused on the connected load, which referred to all operational loads connected to the mains. Next, we examined demand definitions as the average load drawn from the power source, representing the average load connected load to the main. We also explored the concept of demand factor, which was the ratio between maximum demand and connected load. Another critical factor we discussed was the load factor, calculated as the average load divided by the maximum load. Additionally, we delivered into the concept of diversity factor, which considered the sum of individual maximum loads and their ratio of the maximum demand. The utilization factor was covered, reflecting the ratio of maximum generation demand to generator capacity. In that, we have learned types of loads. We categorize different types of load. Begins with residential load. This encompasses the power required for lighting, fan, household application and even air conditioning units. We also discussed commercial loads, which closely resembled residential load and was typically found in shops and similar establishments. Industrial load was examined, focusing on power uses for manufacturing and industrial operations. We delivered into others load. We focused little much on electrical need for street light and various municipal maintenance load. We have also little much focus about the irrigation load. Lastly, we touched upon traction load, which pertained to the electricity required for running railways and other transporting devices. We have seen in the second part plant location and cost analysis. We emphasized the importance of selecting an ideal plant location, proximity of load centers to minimize transmission losses was highlighted. The significance of considering the location access to fuel sources to reduce transportation cost and its optimization based on distance from both the load and fuel sources was discussed. The lecture also addressing cost aspects, including initial cost, operating cost and the expense associated with the land cost. A discussion on the critical availability of water for various type of power plant, especially thermal and nuclear plants, was presented. In this, we explored the three main scenario: implementing new system, replacing an existing one, or extending an existing system. That is, capital cost was defined encompassing initial expenses, interest, depreciation tax and insurances. We deliver into operating cost, which includes recurring expenses like fuel, labor, maintenance, supervision, supplies and taxes. The importance of initial cost incurred during land acquisition and construction was addressed. A detailed examination of interest and depreciation was provided, highlighted their impact on project versatile over time. The lecture concluded with an overview of various depreciation method, includes straight line method, percentage method and sinking fund method, including how these methods informed financial planning of power plant. In summary, in today's lecture, we covered a wide range of topics related to power generation, load type, site selection consideration and cost analysis methodology. So, this is the end of basics lecture on power plant economics. So, in next coming lectures, we will see the numerical based on power plant economics or different types of numerical based on power plant economics, how to select locations, how to calculate water availability, how to calculate land cost. In that way, we will calculate power factor, depreciation rate, other different types of factor. We will draw power factor curve in coming lectures. Thank you.